Hello students.
Hello sir.
Welcome to the lecture. So today we are going to discuss a case study. So case study on pollution and electric vehicle. That is what the today's lecture's topic. So let us start the session. Pollution is one of the major cause for the environment, right? Because if you see the temperature, the climate is drastically changing, right? So as we are located in Coimbatore, this Coimbatore city is always a moderate temperature city, right? So it is surrounded by Western Ghats, right? So what happened is recently past 2 years, if you see the temperature is, the climate is day by day it is getting worse, right? And if you see the temperature, it is reaching nearly to 40 degrees Celsius. It is the major cause of the climate or the weather is because of the pollution, right? So pollution is what the case for today's lecture, right? And before explaining the things, I would like to know it from you people about the pollution.
One.
So good morning all. Now I am here to explain about why the pollution is causing the more weather emissions. As of all, we all know that there are multiple kinds of automobile vehicles like 2-wheelers, 4-wheelers, 3-wheelers and multiple vehicles. And then that causes multiple kinds of emissions like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and unburned hydrogen gases. These are the harmful gases that makes the global to rise the heat, and that makes the globe or earth to warm up. So now we are going to the EV, which is an advanced version of the internal combustion engine, where there will be no pollution or any heat is produced during the traveling time. So that is the result of the results for the IC engine to burn the emissions. And then in a news channel there is a news that which tells about the 10% of global carbon dioxide is caused by the automobiles only. Thank you.
One.
Yes, as Ashwin told, if you see, not only automobile, right, but we belong to automobile engineering, right? So automobile engineering, we are engineers, right? We design vehicles, right? We should not harm the environment. We should not harm the things, right? So our next generation will suffer a lot. Am I right? So we should be cautious towards the environment. So that is why if we consider the pollution in terms of automobile, nearly 10% of the pollution is globally caused by automobile, right? There are many kinds of pollution: sea pollution, that is water pollution, soil pollution, right? There are even if a sound that is causing disturbance means that is also called as a pollution, right? That is noise pollution, right? And if you see Delhi, I will tell you one example in our nation, right, India, right? If you see Delhi, the air quality index of Delhi is very poor. The people who live in Delhi, they suffocate more because of the harmful things that are present in the air. The air gets contaminated because of the pollution. There are many vehicles. Population is high. The automobile population is high, right? So if you want to cross the road in Bangalore or any Chennai or any metropolitan cities, if you see the number of vehicles crossing is much, right? So why I am telling is you may cross your roads at your city or rural background. If you see, with only a few vehicles will travel, right? So you have the timing to cross the road. But whereas in metropolitan cities and all, right, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, right, Bangalore, right, so they have much pollution, right, because the number of vehicles are high. So this causes the air quality index, right? So that is why Delhi, if you see, many vehicles are banned, only CNG vehicles are allowed, right? So as an automobile engineer, we must have the caution towards the control of pollution, right? And there are some government norms, right? There are some standards. The purpose of the standard is to eliminate the pollution, right? So let us see one by one. I would like to hear what is the emission norms that are currently in act.
One.
So
So as Sir told that we have a lot of emission norms to control the pollution in our country. So in that thing we have crossed around 6 stages of emission norms from BS1 to currently we are in the BS6 norms. So in the BS6 norms, the major things have been changed. That is, the emissions have been reduced in the percentage of 60 to 40% in the previous version of BS4 norms, where major changes in the engine are fuel injection systems and DPF and DEF oil. DEF oil means a kind of a liquid system which is controls the emission in the diesel vehicles, and many changes in the engine blocks with the mounting of sensors in it to control the pollution, which controls the pollution until the tailpipe of the vehicle. So this is the conclusion of the norms.
1.
Yes, as Sudhish told, so in order to reduce the pollution, that is what our case study here, right? So in this lecture. So in order to reduce the pollution, the government should standardize the automobiles, right? So that is why there are some standards, not only in India, right? If you see the globally, there are European standards. In India, we have Bharat standards, right? Bharat State 6 is the currently in amendment, right? So the vehicle should fulfill or satisfy the percentage of gases that are emitted, right? So if if the percentage of emission is high, then the vehicle will not get quality control pass, right? QC pass, right? So that is how the pollution is planned, right? And not only in pollution, if you see nowadays the people are started to manufacture engines which are compatibility of ethanol 20, right? So this ethanol 20 is one of the blend, right, in order to overcome the fuel crisis as well as the pollution, right? The ethanol 20. Now you know about Hyundai, right? Hyundai is one of the leader in engine manufacturing or making. And if you see, their vehicles are compatible of ethanol 20 blend. So if you use ordinary petrol, all vehicles will run. But if you use ethanol 20, only the specific engines which are compatible can only be run. Whereas if you see Hyundai, they started their manufacturing from 2009 onwards, right? So they are all ethanol 20. So this is a one answer or solution for reducing our problem, that is the pollution. Right. Other than this, there are some changes nowadays, right? Have you heard about EVs? What are EVs?
Battery.
Electric vehicles, right? Electric vehicles. They run through electric as a working
Fuel.
medium, right? Instead of fuel, we use electricity as a working medium, and instead of engine, we use motors, right? Have you seen the market strategy of EV vehicles? Have you seen the market strategy? How many vehicles are sold or yes? Are you aware of it? Yes. So let us hear it from Surya about the market of EV.
1.
Good afternoon, guys. We going to see about the how ICE engine versus electric vehicle. Last 2 years, mostly the EV vehicles are evolving to the most buyers are switching towards EV because the ICE engines pollute more. So therefore they are switching towards EV. In the last 2 years, the ICE vehicles or sales up to 8.6 vehicles have been sold in the ICE engines. When it comes to EV vehicles, the 5.6 lakhs vehicles have been sold in the last 2 years. Therefore, now only the EVs are evolving. So in the current year, the EVs are more evolving, and the more number of buyers are buying that to control the pollution in our cities.
So even though there are more sales in EVs, there are 3 big players in every segment. For example, when you take 2-wheelers, there are like Ather, Ola Electric and TVS electric vehicles. And next, when you take 3-wheelers, you have Piaggio and Bajaj Auto, and after that Mahindra. And after 4-wheelers, when you take 4-wheelers, there are Tata and BYD and Mahindra and Mahindra, etc. So these are the 3 big players in EV industries.
So, in a major issue for a customer for buying EV vehicles is price. So, governments are giving schemes to customer as well as for company. So for a customer, first comes as a FAME. FAME is nothing but schemes for a EV vehicle. It started on 2015. Now currently we are in a FAME 2. It's started at 2014. So for a customer, they are providing 5,000, around 5,000 for a two-wheeler and around 1 lakh to 2 lakh for car segments. And for a conventional vehicle, they are giving around 3 to 4 lakhs. For a production side, they are allocated 20,000 crore for a production side. They are giving money to the production companies. And also the impact of these schemes are around in between the gap around 13 lakh bikes and cars are sold, and also thousands of buses are sold from the EV companies. Thank you.
So let us conclude this lecture on the control of pollution. That is what our case study today, right? If you see the conclusion marks, as you told about the pollution standard, right? The bar stage, right? And you told about the environment, and you told about the market leaders, and you told about the market strategy, how many vehicles are sold when comparing with the IC engines, right? And you told about schemes of the government, right? So the government is also encouraging people to buy electric vehicles, and they are also giving many subsidies and many benefits to the people in order to encourage the early EV adoption, right? And only adopting the EV or going with the standards will only control the pollution, or else the future will have more temperature and it will cause the climate day by day very worst. So let us try to be a responsible engineers for tomorrow's need. Thank you.
Thank you.